Hi, this is Tuhon Aditya from LightHaven. I'm at the beautiful resort of Cabo Serai in South Goa, and today we're going to be working on some single stick power combinations. All our combinations are going to follow a very similar pattern in terms of what targets I am trying to hit, and also the kind of reaction I'm trying to get from my opponent. So essentially we can break it down into my first attack in all my combinations is going to be to try to get some reaction. If I don't get a reaction, if my opponent doesn't move, it's great, I'm going to hit him in the head. But I'm assuming that as I extend towards my opponent, he's going to lean back or he's trying to get out of the way. If I'm trying to hit his hand, he's going to try and move his hand out of the way. If I'm trying to move his head, he's going to try and move his head out of the way. And I'm going to use that reaction to set up all my follow-up strikes. For the sake of what we're doing today, we're going to stick to a sort of principle-based template. So the first strike, I'm going to target the head. The second strike, I'm going to target either the hand or the leg, and the third is going to be this big powerful strike looking to take his head off. For the first combination, we're going to start from a backhand sort of chamber load position. Now you can do this, and you should practice doing this from moving your stick in like a moving guard, but for now we're going to start with a stick around the backhand position. This can be around your elbow. I like to keep it around your elbow, but I've seen some people keep it around the hips as well. My preference is near my elbow, my empty hand elbow. And from here I'm going to fire out a straight jab. Now this is very important. When we're jabbing, it's not an angle 2 or a horizontal slash. There's no arc involved. It goes straight out and back, and that's the beauty of it. While you may not get the same amount of power as an angular strike, it's a lot faster and it's a lot harder to defend against. And I'm just coming straight out towards you like this, as opposed to like this or like this. It's a lot harder to defend against. From here I'm going to be snapping this jab out towards his head, and I'm hoping to get a lean back kind of reaction. If I don't get that reaction, I'm going to hit his head. So it's a win-win for me. Snap the jab out towards his head. From here I'm going to snap a vertical strike down to his hand. So that's high, that's low, or medium. Bang to the hand. I'm going to be using a lot of wrist and dropping the shoulder to generate power for the second strike. So 1, 2. And from here we're going to finish it off with a powerful strike to his head. So I go 1, 2. Now I can just fire off a backhand from here. However, there is a way that we generate power. I have spoken about this before, where we use the hip, shoulder and the wrist, the whipping motion to generate power. I've seen this in other martial arts as well. I think the Dog Brothers call this a dog's tail. Whatever you may call it, it is an extremely effective way of generating power without a big wind up. So jab, I hit the hand, and from here I'm going to wind it up and then shoot it across. An easy way you can break this down is almost like a Vitic, and then you fire it across. So 1, down, and to give it even more power, I'm going to brace my other hand on my wrist. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And it's up to you whether you want to go horizontal with his backhand or diagonal with his backhand. 1, 2, 3. From this angle, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm trying to fire this across his head, this powerful horizontal or diagonal across my opponent's head. So one more time, head, hand, head again. The reason I'm targeting the hand, especially with a stick, is again I'm trying to get, I'm hoping to get a reaction from him. If I don't get a reaction, I'm going to hit his hand. If I do get a reaction, I'm hoping he moves his hand out of the way, giving me a clear path for this big powerful strike to his head. So I'm hitting the head, hoping for a lean back. If I don't get a lean back, I'm going to hit his head anyway. I'm targeting the hand, hoping for him to move it away. If he doesn't move it away, I'm going to hit it, and then that's going to leave the path open idly for this big powerful shot to the head. So if the first combination started from a backhand, the second is going to start from a forehand. Now whenever I am doing any sort of jabbing motion, I always prefer to fire it off from the backhand. I find it to be easier to disguise, and it's harder for me to get countered. Anytime I'm firing a jab with the forehand, I feel a little bit more exposed because the arm is a little bit more exposed, the inside of the arm is a little bit more exposed when I'm firing, as opposed to when I'm firing the backhand, everything is a little bit more protected. So I always prefer jabbing with the backhand, whether it's high, medium or low. However, this has happened to me only once, when someone figured out the timing of my jab and countered it. And I only countered it once, but that should be enough for you, to indicate to you that you need to change what it is that you're doing or tweak it. So if they get used to you jabbing from the backhand from this position, I may be moving around and then jabbing as well. So I may be moving around and then doing the combination as well. However, if they get used to your timing or your rhythm, or they figure out your combinations, then you should have another option. So this is a jab from the forehand side. It's a jabbing angle one. Now again, the idea is not to have an arc going up to down, but to go straight out in this fashion. So instead of going one or one, it's straight. I'm trying to cut time as much as possible and have as straight a movement as possible. So I'm going one, and again I'm looking for a reaction, hoping that they're gonna lean their head back. Now as you can see, every single time I lean my leg back, generally my leg is still there. Rarely do you see people who are so good at footwork that they move their leg or they move back. Or even when you do, then you want to be able to set it up so that when you do this, either their weight is distributed in a certain way, but it's harder for them to move the leg back, or they may be more tired and so they're leaning back. So I'm hitting the head, the leg is there, I'm hitting the leg. Again, I'm trying to get a lean back so the leg is exposed, and then I hit the leg. If there's no lean back, I hit the head and I hit the leg anyway. So hit the head, hit the leg, and now we're in that same power backhand position. One, hit the leg, power backhand. One, go low, high, high, low, high, high, low, high. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you have anything to add to the discussion, leave it in the comments down below. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. A huge thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to know more about our Patreon page and the exclusive content that we offer there, check out the link in the description down below. A huge thank you to Cabo Serai for hosting me. I had an amazing time here. If you'd like to know more about the resort, I'm going to leave a link to their website in the description down below. Please do check that out. And lastly, thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video.